Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a video on going after what you want. And not just going after what you want, but going after what you want with zeal, with curiosity, with wonder, with excitement, with joy, with contentment, with grace and gratitude. So I say all that because I've been wanting to do a particular thing for a while now. And I would make up excuse after excuse after excuse for not doing it. Like, oh, it's not one thing, it's another happening. Like, oh, I can't do that because of this. And it was like I was making myself comfortable with procrastinating, you know. Some would call it being lazy. I would call it being procrastinating. But really, it was something deeper than that. It was something deeper than that. It was a belief that I had that somehow I wasn't worthy, or that it wasn't going to be good enough because I wasn't good enough, or well, why? Like these things would come up all the time, and I would just feel like it's like I psyched myself out. I would just talk myself out of even doing anything remotely in the direction of where I wanted to go. I'm like, then I'll just forget. Then after a few hours go by, a few days go by, a few weeks go by, a few months go by, a few years went by actually, and I still hadn't did what I set out to do because I allowed fear and judgment to rule my life. Now I decided I don't want to be ran by fear. I don't want to make choices based on fear. I want to make choices based on love, based on joy, based on what feels good. Um, and it sounds simple, but when you don't know you have blocks to certain things, then you're shut of luck unless somebody reveals it to you or you somehow reveal it to yourself some way or another. Everyone comes into this understanding of themselves, and I'm at a place now where I truly believe in myself. It's not me having to fake it till I make it. Um, and I guess some of you are wondering, what is it? What is this thing that you finally did? Well, guys, I'm low key obsessed with wire jewelry. I have been. I love the look of it. It has this mystical, magical, earthy feel to it. Um, and like the crystals and the stones, they have so much meaning to them, and they give off the vibrations and different things, which you know I'm still really new to this. I'm not like saying I'm an expert at stones and crystals. Oh no. I haven't even taken any legit classes on wire jewelry making. I just watched a few YouTube videos. And back when I bought the kit and everything, like several months ago, I thought I was making something, but it just, the wires that I got were not the right wires. They were very thin. So I was like, ah, freak. I was like, I actually was going to do it. And look, I just gave up. I give up, or I used to. I used to give up so easy. If I ran into like a challenge or, something that didn't like go my way, I would just abandon it altogether. I would just like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, I ain't got time for this. I did that because it was a safety mechanism. It was to keep me safe, but it was actually stunning my growth. It was keeping me from expanding. So I've been doing a lot of expansive work. Instead of inner work or just doing inner work, I actually do expansive work. I go inside. Obviously, you have to go inside at some point, but I don't stay there. I follow the feeling, right? I feel into it, whether it's good or bad. I want to know what's going on in my body. If there's a storm, you want to know what type of storm is coming, and so you can be prepared for the storm. So whenever I have an emotion that comes up, I want to know what it's about. I want to know what's going on and know what I need to do. So now, after I look inside and I follow the feeling, then and I extended love. I put love there. I'm vulnerable with myself. I'm putting love there, right? I hope y'all will follow me. So then I get to a point where in meditation, out of my head and in my heart, right? And I put love there. I just send love, whatever it needs, like whatever type of love I like. If I need to say something, if I need to do something, I do it. And most of the time, it's just me imagining like just that feeling of love going to that area, just loving myself until it's gone, like, and boop, poof, there it goes. And I just constantly do that all day, every day. Um, And I've noticed a huge shift in my life. I'm looking at the brighter picture. I'm looking at the bigger, brighter picture. I'm looking at the goals. I'm looking forward to my future. I'm not staying so stuck on what I did wrong, where I messed up, or what I don't know. I'm not focusing on what I don't have and what skills I need to learn. No, I'm focused on, okay, what I got to do to get to the next point. My focus is only on the solutions, only on what makes me happy, only on my goals. I'm not focused on anything else because none of that else matters. Abraham Hicks, have you heard of her? Look her up. She said something in one of her lectures about, imagine you being a car, and you have your goals, you have your intentions, all that's good and right. And when you're in your car, or if you are the car, if it's dark out, what, you got your lights on, right? So you got your lights on, if your regular lights or high beams, whatever you need, right? And you're not worried about what's beyond the light, because you can see in front of you, you can see as far as you need to see to go in the direction you need to go, right? You don't question that. When your car does it for you, you don't question it. Now, apply that to yourself. You're the vehicle. You're the light. You have this light inside of you. Let it shine forth and let that lead and guide you, and just focus on that, because life will unfold in front of you as you go. Life will give you everything you need as you go. I say life, I mean, you want to say God, universe, the divine source, the creator, the one, you know, as life unfolds before you, everything you need is going to be there as you need it. The people, the places, the things, the skills, the lessons, the everything, the tools, everything you need. And what's really phenomenal is, guess what? You got everything you need already inside of you. What's in your hand? I ask you. You got it. You have it in you. You have the confidence. You just probably judge other people for being confident because you don't feel like you're confident. And you feel like people who are confident don't deserve to be confident, because who are they? And that's how you feel about yourself, okay? So take another look. It's not always what it seems. Life is not always what it seems, okay? Don't let your thoughts rule you. Don't let your emotions control you. You rule your thoughts, you control your emotions for the most part. Like, emotions they come, right? But there's a way to handle them with delicacy and with care, to the point where you're not hurting yourself or hurting other people. You're actually processing the emotion and moving forward, because this is what life is about. Forward movement. Because nothing's going to stop for you, boo-boo. I took a hard hit a few months ago, okay? And I couldn't go anywhere but up. So I said all of that to say, 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes in, I said all that to say, what I did with this wire jewelry, y'all, I'm so amazed at myself. I just want to give gratitude and thanks to Spirit for helping me get to this point where I can say, I did it. I did a thing. I did a thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I didn't allow myself to tell myself no anymore, or that I couldn't do it. So I'm going to start with this story of these rings. So these rings I've bought from a jeweler. She does handmade jewelry. She's actually just learning. So this is like a simple wrap, but it looks good, right? I've had to tweak it a little bit to make it fit my fingers, and like sometimes it'll poke me the way that she wrapped it. But still, I love the look. I love the look. I love the aesthetic, and it's just, to me, it's so tribal. It's so earthy, and kind of just feels like calm, like peace, like royalty too. Like, it just has all this stuff going on. This, however, um, I've had this for over 10 years, over a decade. I know, over a decade, because I had this back in high school. So I had to be in about a decade. I've had this, and then these are the ones I made. Y'all, I'm so excited about these. I made these rings. They all have their own character, their own. I made these, like, my heart is. I'm proud of my handiwork, y'all. Look, I only watched a few YouTube videos, and I didn't even use any of the techniques I learned in those videos. I just kind of followed Spirit, and they look janky, right? Because look at the unorganized wrappings, but it adds character, I think. And I love them. So this is really fake. I think I found this somewhere outside some years ago. It had to be maybe 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I've had this, I think. And so it was already mounted. This was a necklace. And I actually, maybe I've worn it once, but I never had the necklace to go with it because, like I said, I just found this pendant. Almost looks like a pendulum. But yeah, it was supposed to hang like this on a necklace. And so today I just decided, I was like, I'm gonna wrap some jewelry today because I seen somebody with some wire jewelry again that I really liked, and I'm like, ooh, I have a gem that kind of looks like that I wanted to turn into a ring. Not this one, I'm getting there, but I was like, ooh, I could turn that into a ring, and I blessed it, and I wanted to, and I like pictured in my head like how I thought it would look on me, lovely, beautiful, and so as I'm going through, I'm like, I made it. I made that. That's what I made first. I'm going to share it with you last. I actually made that one first. And then it got me, I was in such a creative flow. I was like, I want to make more. I wanted to dig through my jewelry box and see whatever jewels I had floating around that I could turn into rings. So I did. That's where this came from. I just made it, right? And I really like it. Is what I was just doing a look into jewelry and what it means to like wear jewelry and different types, like for earrings, for necklaces and everything. And all of it's like forms of protection. Like big earrings protect your vital or like your vital artery. You know, it protects you if someone's attacking you. You know, if I need to hit someone, this is gonna fucking hurt. Probably both of us, but mainly them. So yeah, I didn't do any sizing. You know, they fit okay. Um, Slightly snug. I know if I had put on some lotion, they would slip on and off really easy. But see, I'm tugging on it. It's not going anywhere. But so yeah, that's the story on that one. This was not like this one. It was kind of just floating around in my jewelry box, and I've had this for so it's kind of like a stink bug. It's like a beetle. Brings good luck. But this was a gift. This was a gift from a client of mine from. Whew, had been over 7 years ago. I've had it for about 7 years now. It was one of my first clients when I first got out of college and my first job, and his name was Farouk. He's from Middle East, and I think he went to Egypt, and he brought back everyone that he knew some gifts, and because he really liked the work I did, he brought me back a gift, and I kept it ever since. I think it came with a black cord. It was also a necklace, but I just turned it into a ring. Lastly, is oh my favorite now. Like this amethyst, y'all. This was a part of a bigger stone, and I dropped it and it broke. And then one day, maybe about a little less than a month ago, I was looking at it because I was like, oh shoot, it broke off. And I got two. I was like, I could turn that into a ring. The thought just kind of crossed my mind one day, not probably a week ago or so. And a few days ago, I blessed it, and I had a shaman in my house, and he blessed it and all my stones and everything. But this, I knew I was going to turn into a ring, and I did it. Finally, it took me several months, but I did it. And yeah, it's not the most perfect wrapping. Like it looks like a kindergartner did it. If you've seen really high quality wire settings, then you know what I'm talking about. Maybe if you're not used to this type of jewelry, this might impress you. But really, I don't care because I impressed myself. Yes, honey. I did it. I did a thing. And they look good. They all have their own essence about them, right? So yeah. If there's something that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off, I challenge you. Take your time with yourself. Get into a quiet place. Prepare the atmosphere. Light some candles. Burn some incense. Get some sage if you're into it. You ain't even gotta do all that. Just maybe open up your window when it's kind of warm out. Let some fresh air in. Let that air circulate. Sit there in the calm. You can leave your eyes open. You can close them. Does not matter. All you gotta do is breathe. Breathe through your nose, out your mouth. Notice the breath, feel the breath as it travels in, follow the breath as it goes into your chest and expands, and then release. And keep doing that until you, about 20 minutes in, they say, and you start to just start to realize how, not that you aren't somebody, but really you're nothing. Like your inner energy, your spirit, your being, you're having this human experience, but who are you really? Like in the grand scheme, like you're light. You're not this flesh. Like I'm not what you see here. Truly and truly I am um who I am, but what you see is just a claymation of my spirit. It's I'm not a door in this place, in this internal, eternal place that resides in all of us. You're not your name. You're not your titles. You're not your labels. You're not somebody's mama, somebody's daddy, somebody's brother, sister, uncle, auntie. You're not that. In this deep inner knowing, you just are. Right. That's what I mean when I say you're nothing. You're not you. Your higher self, that you, right? Get to know that person. Get to know that being that resides in you, that you actually are. Because I mean, every other being on this planet knows who they are. The tree knows what it's supposed to do. You ain't got to tell a tree to be a tree. It knows to be a tree. You ain't got to tell a squirrel to be a squirrel. It knows it's a squirrel. The tree knows the squirrel's gonna live in it. The squirrel knows it's gonna live in that tree. They just know. Okay, so know who you are, and on that deep level, when you get there, feel into it. Like that's where you need to go anytime you run into a block or resistance or fear or feeling that doesn't feel good, or even if it does feel good, investigate the feeling. Go to that place and send it love there. And the thing that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off, you'll start to actually do the steps that you need to take to get what you want. That is manifesting. I won't even say one-on-one, because that's probably, you probably heard someone explain it much better, but that's what worked for me. That's what worked for me, okay? And I did it. I actually believed in myself and I got it done. And this is how it turned out. So you know what? Maybe I have a natural talent. I continue to teach myself. I continue to get better. And you might be wearing something beautifully handmade by yours truly. Right? Maybe I'll be wearing some of your pieces. Okay. Y'all have a beautiful evening or day, morning, whenever you watch this. Peace and blessings.